Hey y'all, before we get into this next episode, I just stopped in to make a quick announcement. So if this is your very first time tuning into an episode of Dem Bois Podcast, welcome. My name is Sean Aaron, he, him, his. I am the founder and executive director of Dem Bois Inc., and I am also the host of this show. So I want to share an important update about where we are as an organization and invite members of our community and those who deeply care about our mission to partner with us in leadership. Dem Bois is entering a season of strategic planning as we prepare for long-term sustainability and greater impact for trans men of color. And as a part of this next chapter, we are officially recruiting new board members to help guide and shape the future of our work. We're currently looking for leaders to serve in the following roles. So, board chair, fundraising and external relations board member, program and community engagement board member, and also general board members. We welcome trans men of color, queer and trans people of color, and allies who are grounded in equity, community care, accountability, and vision. So you might be a strong fit if you have experience in leadership, nonprofit governance, fundraising, or community programming, or if you bring lived experience, creativity, and a strong network. Or you may feel called to support trans men of color with intention, heart, and action. And as a board member, you will help expand and strengthen the work we started, work rooted in visibility, care, and possibility. So if you're interested, or if someone in your network comes to mind, please check out the information included below in the show notes. You can also click the link that's there in order to apply. And for any questions, you can reach out to our strategic planning consultant, Joy King, at joy@sweetlifebusinesscoaching.com. Or you can email us directly at hello@dembois.org. And so all of this information is included below, so you don't have to think about it. You can just go ahead and scroll down and click the information there. So together we can build the future that trans men of color deserve, because visibility equals possibility. So thanks again for supporting Dem Bois Podcast. Now let me go ahead and get up out of here so you can listen to this episode. Take care.
Dem Bois. Yeah. Theboys.org. Dem Bois. Dem Bois.
My next guest I had the privilege to sit down with is the founder and executive director of Uncloak. His work is rooted in a deep commitment to disrupting isolation and cultivating brotherhood among trans men. And so I met him face to face in June of 2025, but I feel like this conversation was a conversation between people and friends who have known each other for a very long time. This was a really great conversation. It was a much necessary conversation. We talked about those in-between parts. We talked about the setbacks of transitioning and some of those in-between things of transitioning that folks don't talk about, right? And so we also discussed in detail about health care access and lack thereof. And towards the end, we had some very great conversation about our expectations of self-care and getting more of it in the new year. I hope that you enjoy this episode.
Dem Bois, Dem Bois, amplifying trans men of color voices. Yeah, we here making noise, yeah, making noise, yeah. Visibility equals possibility. You know we them boys, yeah, them boys, yeah. Amplifying trans.
Welcome to Dem Bois Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Aaron, he, him, his. My next guest is the founder and executive director of Uncloak, an organization dedicated to the health, wellness, and healing of men of trans experience. His work is rooted in a deep commitment to disrupting isolation and cultivating brotherhood among trans men. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me come on here and wreck this thing up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so happy to have you here. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for folks to know who you are, name and pronouns, and where you're located?
Yeah, of course. My name is Kalvin Byrd. I like to say the last name because I learned that people remember your name a little bit more when you tell them the first and last. I'm located in Las Vegas. I'm originally a Cali boy, but I've been in Vegas so long that this is home. And your introduction was beautiful, man. I'm a community leader and the executive director of Uncloak.
Nice, beautiful. That's why I say my name's Sean Aaron too. I feel like it just got a different ring to it, and people gonna remember that shit. They ain't gonna remember no little old Sean, but they gonna remember Sean Aaron, right? And Kalvin Byrd. You know what I'm saying?
Your name rings though. Your name hits. So
yeah, and I also say for folks who don't know, I also say Aaron because my son gave me that name, so I feel like that's a part of me. So I can say Sean,
yeah, that's beautiful,
and then Aaron because it just, I don't know, it just brings it together for me. I don't know. Yeah,
it's
so
perfect.
Yeah, so first of all, we already know each other. We met in June of this year, 2025. We met at Camp Lost Boys. And so for folks who don't know, Camp Lost Boys is a part of the Intentional Man Project. And for me, my definition of it is a way to nurture your manhood in a way that you weren't able to because we were socialized as female at birth. And so it's a way to come together with other trans men in a natural camp setting. Right. So it's like going to camp as boys, but you're actually grown ass men. You know what I'm saying? Is that a good way to put it?
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. And so let me tell y'all about Kalvin though. When I first met Kalvin, first of all, Kalvin is taller than me, y'all. I'm 5'2". And so one thing that stood out about Kalvin is his smile, his laugh, and he got a mad ass beard game. Okay, I'm jealous of that shit. And to me, and I kind of pick up on energy a lot. Just the person that you are. To me, I feel like you have a big heart, and that kind of what drew me to you is a big heart. And so I asked Kalvin after we met each other. I said, "Yo, you got to come on the show, man." And he's like, "Oh, I ain't ready." So where your lie at? Because that's the story, right? That you told me you wasn't ready, right?
I mean, in a nutshell, I ain't gonna lie. I think I just got nervous, because I'm used to like being in the forefront, but like I'm also kind of like a background personality. So I call myself like a fake extrovert because I curated a new personality to be the executive director of Uncloak, which is a whole nother story.
I love that. So that's almost like like a drunk person's personality. So this your drunk personality or like your representative kind of, so to speak.
Well, I'll say that any way that I show up, that's me. It's just a different side of me. I'm just a multifaceted person.
There you go.
So where like I just have, maybe it might be a survival skill too. You have to show up in a certain way to survive in an environment. And so for me to take men out of isolation, I have to show up for them in a way that's genuine and outside of my own comfort zone so they can come out of their comfort zone.
I love that. And the way that you carry that is actually you do it really well, actually, right? And just to say that you got a big heart, that just explains it right there. I was right. That's a big heart if you're willing to show up in ways that other people need you to. Right? Not show up in ways that you want to, but show up in how people need you to. Because you can be, it's like knowing how to read the room, right? People can be real sad and something is going on and you come in and like, hey, y'all, I'm Kalvin. Like, no, dude, you messed up. You missed it. We're not in that type of mood, but to be able to come into spaces in a way that people need you to show up, that just shows the person you are. And so I appreciate that about you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And so I like to ask my guests on the show about their name. And so the name Kalvin, how did that name choose you?
That's funny, man. I actually really, really love the name Dominic. Like that was going to be my name. Like I was ready for that name. Just to give context, I hated even hearing my name, my birth name. I hated to hear it until maybe a few years ago when I understood that it's just a name. I do believe that names give meaning to your life, right? And so my birth name actually means pure. So I loved it later. But all that to say, how my name chose me, I thought it was fair to let my mother rename me. So I went up to her in front of my grandmother and my aunt, and I asked her, like, what would you want me to, what would you want me to change my name to? My middle name is actually Leroy. And when I was in the womb, they thought I was a cis male until I came out. So they kept Leroy in my original birth name, which is crazy. But so I went up to her and I was like, what would you name me if you could name me all over again? And she said Kalvin, because there was a boy that I liked in school and I always loved that name. I said, bet. So didn't look it up, right? And so I went ahead, did the paperwork, changed it. My auntie was sitting right there. And later in life, she told me, you know, that boy's name was actually Kelvin. It wasn't Calvin. And my mom goes, oh, that's right. It was Calvin. It was Kelvin. And I looked up Calvin just because I was like, I'm stuck with the name now. And it means little bald one. And then my hairline started getting pushed back. So maybe I should have just stuck with the middle name or the original. I don't really know, but that's how my name got me.
Oh, wow. So I'm like, your mom said she had a crush on somebody. Did she really have a crush on him? Because she didn't even know this man's name.
You know what? I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I couldn't call it.
Oh, that's wild. But either way, I feel like things happen for a reason. So Calvin, you know what I mean? Calvin, it just fits you, right? And so did your other name. What'd you say you wanted your name to be that you were stuck on?
Dominic.
I could see that though. Yeah. Where did that come from?
I just loved it. I don't know. I just really loved how it sounds. I just love the name. So if I ever have kids, I'll have a little Dominic or something.
I was gonna say that if you want to have children in your life, that'll be a name to say for your children. I love that. Yeah. I love that. So you mentioned though that you had your mom, your grandma, and your aunt there, right? And so okay, let me start this. So you transition at a younger age, am I correct?
That's correct.
And so, and a lot of times when we talking about like our coming out story of identifying as trans and we telling our people, it don't always happen the way that you just said it, right? And so to have 3 generations of people in the 3 generations of people in the space. How was that? How was that they received you in that way? How did that feel for you?
Well, it was harder to come out as a stud than it was trans. And also I moved out of my home young. And so when I transitioned, I was on my own. So I didn't really have to face my family for a long time.
Okay. And so how old were you when you began to transition?
19.
And so, tell me, like, what was like your gender journey like? Like, what was a moment when you realized like your identity and who you were?
Yeah, man. I love that question. It's so hard to answer though. So I grew up in San Bernardino, and I didn't know that was a small town until I got older and went back literally last year. And so I never seen any LGBT anything. I didn't even know that was a thing. I moved from there when I was 15. So it's not like it was forbade in my house, but it just was something that was never talked about. And so when I got to Vegas is when I seen my first lesbian, and I was like, oh, I didn't know you can do that. Like I had a crush on my middle school best friend, but like I didn't know that was something. You know, you're a kid, you don't know what's what. And so that's when I started exploring dealing with women. And so I was a STEM for a little while because I didn't have clothes, and I would steal my brother's clothes when he went to jail, and that's a whole nother story. But so when I got like maybe my junior year in high school, I had met a stud that basically took me under their wing and taught me the ropes of like dealing with women, having women, what's the difference between a stud and a femme and stuff like that. And so I would always feel weird around studs though, like lesbians in general, like just strange. Like they would take off their shirts and have a bra on, and I'm like, you need to put your shirt on like we're men. And they were like, we are not men. And then I never understood why I felt so out of place with them all the time. So when I was on the tail end of like 18, I'm a weird person. I like to look at weird things. And so I was on the dark side of YouTube, and I saw F2M. And I was like, what the heck is F2M? And I saw this big buff guy like shadow boxing, and I loved boxing, and he looked like me, and he was brown like me. And I was like, oh my God, you can do that? That's me. So I had woke my partner up at the time and was like, I found something. And like literally that same week, she at the time, the person I was with at the time helped me find a group. And I started testosterone right away because I had a doctor that didn't care about documentation. Everything was cash. Wink, wink. So like, I started right away. I worked 100 hours a week, and I got my top surgery with Dr. Yaramoni in Florida. And at this time, I probably was about 20. So as I start, when you go through that funny looking phase, like in your transition, and you start smelling different and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Man, I was in that phase for a long time, and I didn't have any friends because I wasn't fitting in with the lesbian crowd anymore. So like if I went to a party or if I went anywhere, they would like chastise me because I was a traitor now, or I betrayed them, or like why do you want to be a man? It was a whole thing. So I just isolated myself, and I was just with my partner. That's the only person I was around. I wasn't really in contact with my family like that at the time. And so my partner at the time didn't, we were both young, and she wanted to explore more, and I was going through some weird stuff. And I found out later in life, she said that I always stunk. And so, because your hormones are changing and stuff. And so she was just going crazy, like doing crazy things. And so I just ended up alone for a long time. And so I had worked graveyard at that time, and I was just trying to find a way to find peace being alone, because I'd never been alone before, like totally alone. And I was like, you know what? I just think I believe in what is it called? Reincarnation. And I was like, maybe I could come back as something normal. And so I was, ready to check out. And something in me was like, if you check out, you're never gonna know what happens. You're never gonna know what happens at the end of your story. And so I listened to a lot of motivational videos during that time. And because I'm so nosy, I had to find out how this ended, right? And I was able to bring myself through it, but I was stealth that whole time. So I was stealth for about, I want to say like about 10 to 12 years, and super, super isolated. So I had joined a frat when I was going to college, and that's the first time I experienced brotherhood, like from older guys, younger guys, because I don't have a lot of males in my family, and I didn't have any friends, and I only dealt with lesbians my whole high school time period. So first time I was around like men. And so still didn't really get much more experience as a man in the LGBT community. And so to be really honest, I was extremely homophobic. There was one gay man that was my frat brother that they talked about all the time, and I didn't lift a finger. I didn't do nothing to fight that circumstance or anything like that. And they found out I was trans, and I really think they found old videos on YouTube that I had made when I was going through my transition. And so long story short, I got kicked out of my frat. It was a whole thing at the college, and that's how I was super, super outed. Remember, I was stealth this whole time. So I lost a lot of people, friends, and my relationship behind that because she wasn't comfortable being with a trans man publicly. And so I just spent some more time with myself, and a lot of blessings actually came out of that time. I actually brought my first house and stuff like that. And so I was able to like level up myself, even though I was in isolation. So I wanted to bring up my frat brother that I didn't help, because when I was going through that time period, I was ready to check out again. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey, bro, you want to go get something to eat? You want to go play pool?" And he literally checked up on me continuously. And so like, I think that was one of the ways God truly humbled me and showed me that I wasn't such a good person at that time, like, or not the best person, because he never did anything to me and I never did anything for him, but he showed me kindness when I couldn't give him anything. And so I always say that the way people show up for you when you have nothing to give is the people that you need to keep around you. So we've been friends since then. So after I got kicked out of my frat, I went back to those groups that I went to originally. And this lady said, trans men hide behind the skirts of trans women. I said, okay, I'm going to show you something. And I created Uncloak. And at first it was just the symbol. And I hosted events for trans men. And it grew into this whole thing. And that's I'm just trying to nutshell it for you, but it grew into this whole thing. And then I started to show my face online as a trans man. And then I became comfortable with people knowing I'm not somebody who's like out, but I don't care if you know. And so that's how, in a nutshell, that's how I came to be this person today. And I'm so grateful that I didn't check out, because I found out what happened in life is just so beautiful.
Yes. Kalvin, I'm so glad you didn't check out either, because we wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to meet each other, and we wouldn't be looking at each other right now, right? And I feel like you are a blessing in somebody's life. You have been a blessing in mine since I met you, and even just that, random texts and checking up, right? And so I'm so glad that you're here. It's a blessing that you are here. And within your story, I heard two things. I heard a setback, and then I heard a triumph. Right. You had a story of just, hiding and being isolated. But then you just say you bought a home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, through your struggle and setbacks, you were still being triumphant. And I just want to say that I'm proud of you for that. Like, that's
thank you, man. Thank you.
That takes a lot, right? And of showing up for yourself, even within your isolation, right? Of saying, no, I still want to do these things, and I still want to show up, and I still want to I won't say be a productive person, but just kind of like show up for yourself in ways that people sometimes can't even do when they with somebody. And so I commend you for that, right? And through your setback, you was able to accomplish those things.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm kind of weird with I'm weird with compliments, but I'm working on it.
I know. But you know what? The one good thing about it, we are a work in progress. And as long as you're here, you can continue to grow and work. So accept the compliments, because you deserve it, and you need to feel it. You know what I mean, in your heart that you deserve that. So know that. I want to ask you something, because as trans men, we don't necessarily talk about this, and you made a really good point about that in between part. It's like growing out locks. But they not long yet, but they not twisted right. But it's that kind of in between. You can't put a hat on. You just look a mess, right? Until they can get long enough to twist and start hanging, right? And so you talked about in the middle of your transition and not smelling too good.
Yeah, that's honest, man.
Bro, I had the same issue. I have tried every deodorant known to man. I swear to God.
Yes.
Every soap, every deodorant, everything. Because I'm like, okay, well, that don't work. Boom, I'm tossing it. Well, that don't work. Boom, I'm tossing it. But and we don't talk about that, right? We only talk about the beginning and the end. We talk about the setbacks and the triumphs, right? We talk about the setback of being socialized as female, but then the triumph of transitioning. But you don't talk about that in between part. Yo, you want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, I've actually never talked to another trans man about the smelling part. Like, never have. So I guess you just open a can of worms, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you could do about it. You just have to get through it.
Yeah. And you know what? Whoever the person was that you was dating, fuck them, because they missed out on a wonderful person because if she really loved you, she would work with you. But she wasn't in the place to see your growth, because, sometimes people not in your life for a lifetime. And so she was just in that little piece to support you, get you towards a group, and then, all right, then I'm out. Good. Because then that can be unhealthy. But that shit is hard, bro. That shit is rough. I remember a day when I was like, why it smell like a nigga in here? Like, why? I'm like, oh, damn. That's me. Smell like a grown ass man. It's something that you're not used to, right? And so you want to talk about that a little bit more? I don't want to take the show. I want you to talk about it so we can compare notes.
Nah, man, I'm a conversationalist, my guy. Like, freaking, man. Like, I will say, like, she did apologize later in life, when we're actually still really good friends. And so
okay,
and we was both young,
So I need to take back the fuck her part. I'm sorry.
we were both really young, and we were together for 5 years at that point, and so like she just couldn't take the socks smell, and I was fat. I had the nerve to be stinky and fat. Come on, bro. Like, it's something you got to pick a struggle. And I just didn't have a hold on my life, at that point. And so I wish that she told me so I could figure it out. I felt like, where you could smell yourself but you don't know like how far this stitch is going. And so like I tried my best, but maybe if she would have made me aware that this is something, an outside thing, like an external thing that I could have did something else. I don't know, man. Plus, I told you I was working 100 hours a week trying to get that top surgery money. So I had 2 jobs on top of the 100 hours a week, and so like I was sleeping in my car sometimes, and so like it was just a hard time. It was a hard time, man.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Told me though.
Yeah, she could have told you. She could have told you. Maybe she didn't know how to tell you, but that's all right. Yeah. I just know that before transition, I'm not to say that I did this, but just in case I needed to, I can go without taking a shower and get up and go on by my day. Now, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sure. It ain't happening. No. It can't. You got to wash the pits, tits, and the ass. You got to wash all the important parts. Everything. At least
my neck, parts. My back, and my crack. Yeah. Everything's hidden. Everything's hidden. Man, sometimes I got to shower twice a day because I'm a sweaty guy too.
Yes. And I used to be able to use any kind of soaps. I'm using the little soaps you get from the flea markets that sometimes the little artesian soap that got the little flower buds on the inside. Oh yeah, no, I can't. I don't even want to smell it. I don't want to look at it because that ain't good for my body. It's just, yeah.
Plus I have eczema too. Oh. So like, I was able to use like cool little cheap unscented soaps. Now I gotta go to the dermatologist because I start changing colors and stuff.
It's a real process.
It's the whole thing. And it should be talked about more, especially with younger guys, like or not even younger, but younger in transition, because it will hit you. Your hormones change, and it's just something that you cannot control. But people around you are maybe they're already on edge because you're in your process, or maybe they don't want to say the wrong thing. But that's why it's so important to have a brotherhood to let you know that this is gonna happen and it's normal, and this is the soap and deodorant you want to try, sir.
Yes. No more secret deodorant. That don't work for my armpits. It's just I need a 96 hour, to be honest with you.
Need a 96 hour, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, because when I try the 48, it ain't working. The 24 don't work.
You know what?
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm looking for a total deodorant at this point. Like,
what you mean?
Total body deodorant. You know, that you can like put it in your crack. Like you could put it in your piss and you could put it in your crack, bro. Like
they have that actually. I've seen the little commercials for it.
I have, but it's only for like, I don't know if they have like because there's just certain soaps I can't use if they have like too much perfume, or like if they're like Old Spice is out the door, Irish Spring out the door, and then it's the same way. So like, you know, with us being different, we have to pick a side with the soaps, and I don't have too many options. I can smell like a butterfly, or I can smell like dad, bro.
You can smell like, you can be cute or ugly. What you want to smell like.
Right. Gender neutral soaps, man.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel like it's I started my medical transition 12 years ago. So I feel like, and you started much longer than me, and I feel like it's and this is what the show is about. Visibility equals possibility. Somebody gonna be listening to this and like, damn, I just started tea. Now I gotta find another soap. Yes, you do. So start looking now. Yeah. But what I think is our responsibility of, I won't say elders, not elders in age, but elders in experience in this journey. Yes. It's our responsibility to share that with folks, to let folks know what to expect, because they don't talk about that shit. When you get that little thing from the doctor, all they talk about is certain things. They don't talk about the nitty gritty because they don't know. They ain't going through transition. They just looked at page 53 of the medical book and say, this is what happens when you start taking testosterone, right? But they don't know from experience. And so it's our job to tell younger folks, or folks, even if you older starting out, your body about to change in ways that they don't give you no directions for.
Absolutely. And just, we don't have to talk about it because I know we only got a little bit of time, but also putting it out there that it's a strong possibility your starting partner is not going to make it.
You got a serious ass look on your face, boy. Like, I feel like you looking through my soul. Yeah.
They're not going to make it.
They may, can we say they may not make it? We going to say they're not going to make it.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm just,
it's a strong. I mean, it's a possibility that they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. And I will say also, and it matters a lot because you transitioning, but also people are transitioning with you. So especially if you are dating a woman that identifies as a lesbian, that's a whole different thing when you start looking at it like a man in the morning, right? And the smell coming, all these things. And it's like, no, I wanted something softer and sweeter, right? And so, it's definitely a conversation to have. The person who I was married to when I began my transition, we rocked for many, many years, right? But she was my number one supporter. She worked through all the bullshit, the angry fits, the funkiness, all of it, right? The acne, bro.
Oh yeah.
I was just going through my phone just yesterday, looking at some of the pictures from when I began my transition. My whole back looked like a Hershey, one of those little bars with the little Rice Krispies in them.
No.
Yeah, all over. Right. And so these things that people don't take, because your hormones are just the opposite. They're going flip, right? And your body like, wait, what the fuck is going on? This is too much for me right now. It takes time for your body to get used to. Yeah. Like a little Nestle Crunch bar. That's how my back looked. It was it was literally on fire every day for at least 4 or 5 years.
Oh man, I could not imagine. I
know my partner was tired of me because every time I see her, I'm like, can you scratch my back? She was like,
bro, I would die. I would have died, came back and died again.
I did. I absolutely did. Yeah. I died about 6 times. Yeah. And it's torturous, especially when you can't do nothing about it. I can't reach my fucking back. I can't.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's terrible, bro. I'm so sorry.
If you want, I can share a picture with you via text because I do got the picture.
I'm a little squeamish.
Okay.
Dermis.
Never mind.
But I appreciate the offer.
I ain't never shown nobody actually, and I don't really talk about this. So this might be like an exclusive. I don't really talk about it because it's just something that I deal with in silence.
And that's horrible, bro. That's honestly that's really, really horrible. And if you knew at that time, like if you had a brotherhood, which the internet gives now, if you had a brotherhood, it was like, bro, I go through the same thing. Let's say, I don't know what type of environment you had at the time, but like, what if you had somebody who was in a privileged position and was like, had parents or a family that was supporting, was like, hey, they took me to the dermatologist and got me this cream. Here's this cream, bro. For one, it takes you out of isolation immediately. You're not embarrassed. Like you're saying you've been in transition 12 years and never talked about that. Yeah. Like, you know how many conversations you had with trans men and never talked about that?
Yeah.
It brings normancy to our lives, bro. And our environment is very real. Like it's not a dream. It's not La La Land. It's not Transformer. You wake up one day and you look like a man. It's a whole journey. It's a whole process. And like, I'm not even really realizing until this point in my life that people around me are transitioned with me. And I know when you first started, you don't think about that. You're like, this is my, I'm all juggling, talking about, this is my name now. This is like, you have to realize they have to grow with you. And even some of my closest family members have a problem with pronouns, but it doesn't bother me because I know how they love me. Like I'm in a space right now where I'm figuring out all the stuff that older people used to say. So I'm just now figuring out what unconditional love really is. I know people say that in movies and it's cliche and all this other stuff, but something that was a game changer for me was, for one, realizing that anybody could be replaced. And I know we've been hearing that in every song since we was a kid, right? But that's very true. You can love somebody that's harmful to you, but you can find somebody with those exact qualities that you love about that person and find it in somebody that would love you for no reason. And you're not going to find those people until you get rid of people that are harming you because you want to hold on to them because you knew them for X amount of years, because they gave you some money that one time, because they're the first person that accepted you, but they're still harmful. You can find somebody that would love you for no reason. And you're not going to get that until you take into account that unconditional love is real and that you don't have to give for somebody to love you. It's totally free.
bro. That was golden right there. And so are
Oh,
we
thank you.
talking
I
about
appreciate it.
and are we talking about romantic partners? Are we talking about friendships? Are we talking about family? What are we specifically talking about? What are you talking about? And when you need finding somebody in your life?
Any form of love, bro. That goes
Mm.
for any form of love. Because if somebody's gonna say, I love you, but when you're mad, I don't. Or I'm not gonna show you this because you're upset or you're going through a hard time. That's a condition.
Mm.
I'm gonna love you because of this condition. If and when. This is when I love you. But there's people in this world, in this planet, in your city that will love you without the condition. And those are the people you need to carry with you. And so it goes for any type of love, relationship, friends, family, anything.
I love that. And I'm always talking about practicing healthy masculinity. And I tell somebody in a heartbeat, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Same.
And shit, Calvin, I love you. Right?
I love you too, man.
Yeah, for sure. And it means I'm gonna treat you with the utmost respect. I mean, I don't know if I've shown you already, but like I'm real, right? And I'm gonna treat you with respect. I'm gonna talk to you with respect, with kindness. And why? Because I've been through some shit, and I know what it feels like when people don't talk to you like that. So I'm like, I don't ever want to feel like that, and I don't want nobody to ever feel like that from my mouth.
Same.
I did it with
Same.
raising my child. I do it in my everyday life when I talk to people, unless you just really piss me off. You got to really piss me off for me to get out of my character. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I have gotten out of my character at times, especially driving and on the damn road. If you slow, I'm pissed the fuck off. You're going to be all types of bitches and everything, right? But I'm very intentional with my words, and it's very important, right? Especially within community. And I was just listening to you too a minute ago of talking about 12 years and I ain't never mentioned it. It kind of made me emotional because I was like, I suffered in silence. I suffered in silence, and I had no idea that it was comfortable to say those things, comfortable to say, I need some motherfucking help. Somebody please help me. I was miserable. I would cry because my back just would not stop itching. Right. Yeah. And just imagine if we were in community. Now, if I knew somebody and they said they back itching, I'm buying you a back scratcher off top. I'm gonna get you one of them little flexible ones that stretch out 5 feet, right? But that's because we need to make it a habit of talking about ourselves and our situations as trans men. And that's just
we're just different.
So, yeah. So
we're just different, bro.
Yeah.
The Visibility Equals Possibility collection has new designs and a new designer, me. My name is Zion, pronouns he, him, his, and I was on episode 53 if you want to go back and check that out. But I am the second trans man of color to design for the Visibility Equals Possibility collection. Dem Bois believes visibility equals possibility, and so do I. I am honored to take part in this groundbreaking collection and look forward to seeing what else the collection has in store. My designs represent having confidence and courage to be bold with your visibility. The design, in my mind, says, take the caution you need, but I am here. I hope you all enjoy the designs, and be sure to purchase some designs from me or Emilio to support the gender-affirming programs by Dem Bois. Find the amazing designs of the Visibility Equals Possibility collection and other merch items that I've designed on the Dem Bois shop at dembois.org. That's DEMBOI as in igloo s.org. And remember, visibility equals possibility.
Now, you are the founder and executive director of Uncloak. You just told us a minute ago of like why you started it, but I want you to talk a little bit about the mission, and what is the work that you do.
Oh man, there's so many changes with this administration, but I will focus on what it actually is. So Uncloak, okay, so I'm a geek. Yes, I'm kind of a geek. And so Uncloak actually came from Harry Potter, the cloak he put on his head, like the invisible cloak.
Yeah.
So Uncloak is taking it off and being revealed. And so so Uncloak, because I was stealth, even when starting Uncloak, I always prioritize stealth men and make sure that those men are comfortable before anybody else, because they need the brotherhood the most. So Uncloak focuses on healthcare access and social empowerment. And what that is I work with doctors to the point where I'm the first trans man they see, the first trans man that they come in communication with and study, not you. Because I can take those questions. I can take that. But usually when trans men are going to the doctors, it's because that's their last resort. And that can push somebody off the edge in any way you want to imagine. And so the mission for healthcare access is to get access to these doctors that are allies, but they need a little bit more training, or they want to learn about trans men, and give them that firsthand education. And they actually always end up becoming my friends. So I do that, and I do that with healthcare providers, whether that be medical, psychologists, therapists, virtual platforms, things of that sort. So when you see my symbol on something, it's literally saying that this place is marked safe. And it's not in the trans colors. Well, it is a little bit, but I do have a stealth symbol that I usually put on flyers and stuff like that. So if a stealth man sees that or follows that in some way, there's no outing of them. So that's the healthcare access part in a nutshell. Social empowerment, I work on trans men having access to a brotherhood and a family dynamic. And so like in Vegas, which is where I'm at, of course, so that's my strongest base. We have trampas, we got trunkles, we got little brothers, big brothers. And basically that is to give you the male experience in a family dynamic.
Oh, can you break that down for us? Can you break down the relationships to us, what the names of the relationships are?
Of course, I'd love to do that.
Okay.
So trunkles is your uncle, but it's your trans uncle. Trampa, same thing. So, and then, little brother, big brother, stuff like that. So for me, my father did landscape. And so I own a house, and of course I want to do things in my backyard. So I asked him, I said, hey, can you teach me how to do these things? He said, I'm not going to teach you, but I'll do it for you. And so with having a family dynamic, I got big brothers, I got veterans, I got electricians, motorcycle guys, real, big, the stereotypical men. You will have that and that family dynamic and get that experience with them. And you don't have to rely on that one source. So social empowerment focuses on that family dynamic and also just social gatherings. So I do a lot of collaborations. I'm trying to figure out which way to go. So I do a lot of collaborations with other orgs to bring awareness to trans men in general, because me and you, if we didn't know each other, we'll walk past each other on the street and not know that we come from the same cut, And so social empowerment is literally seeing another man in your city, having that brotherhood, having somebody to just ask the question to. If you don't have nothing else in common, you got that one thing, and you can't say that you're isolated, because it's a possibility these people went through the same thing. I could go on and on about that.
You can go.
Let me throw on one more.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Since you're begging. So what I'm working on right now, which is my favorite thing, is connecting with lesbian orgs. And let me tell you why. Trans women, in my experience, I don't have a lot of experience with trans women in my environment. Unfortunately, I would love to, but I just don't. So they can be within the gay male community, and there's no. I'm sure there's issues, but there's no violence as far as you can't be here because you're a woman now. I have never seen that. It might be like that, but I have never seen that. So trans men, a lot of us has been violently ripped away from that community that we love. Being a lesbian was so much easier. We can just admit that, man. You can talk to girls, you can get girls easy. It's a piece of cake, right?
Yeah.
So I work with some lesbian orgs to allow trans men to enter safely back into that space. And lesbians love us, bro. Lesbians love us. The orgs that I partner with, they always. And I only partner with orgs that give us special treatment because we deserve it. And so when I partner with an org, I want a table for the guys. I want a bottle for the guys. I want introductions to the people that are partying, because trans guys are really shy. They're the sweetest people ever.
Yeah.
So they need those introductions, and it's interacting with that community again. like in a way psychologically heals that trauma, in my opinion. And so everything I do, I'm not a party guy. But I love giving experiences. And so I partner with orgs that are going to give men the best experience. And then I do outings on my own where the guys get together and do things that are not traditionally LGBT safe. And so, because that's not the real world. So like if you're, say your first year in transition, you're with 16, 20 other guys and we're at a bar, like a biker bar, right? Because there's some guys that like to do motorcycles and stuff like that. So, okay, we're heading over to this bar. You see me order a drink. You see your brother order a drink. You see your trunk order a drink. I'm going to try to order a drink. So you go up there. Do you think that bartender or anybody else is going to say something to you when you have 20 other dudes with you? No. Order your drink, bro. And it gives them the social empowerment to do that when they're on their own. So the bar is like the easiest way to explain it, but everything I do is for an experience. It's not just a party. It's for some type of healing or in experiences.
Damn, can I roll with you in the crew?
All the time. All the time.
You know, you touched on a really good point because I'm super shy too, but it's because, and I feel like trans men are shy.
Yes.
I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for myself. I know why I'm shy. For one, you know, my shyness comes from childhood trauma and verbal abuse. That's the first thing. And I'm short. So I always feel like I'm this 5'2" dude. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of big and stocky. So I'm you know, ain't nobody gonna really fuck with me. I feel like I bring that presence and nobody gonna really fuck with me. But I feel small. So I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna be outed just because I'm the shortest motherfucker in the room. Right. And so that makes me shy. And then I spent a lot of time homeless by myself in a car. And so I didn't talk to anybody. I was isolated. Right. And I felt I have a hard time communicating. Now, if you start talking to me, yo, I'm going to talk your motherfucking ear off. Let's do it. Right. But I'm not going to start talking to you if you don't say nothing to me first. And so I really resonate with that of like helping. It's almost like helping trans men to integrate back into society as their full authentic selves.
Exactly that, bro. Exactly. Like even think about camp, bro. Like I love shy guys. That's my bag right there.
Is that why
like
you
even when I seen you,
I said, is that why you talk to me? Oh shit.
Well, yes, it was because you were looking around and it looked like you were by yourself. And so I learned later you wasn't, but where I seen you, I was like, For one, I didn't even notice your height because you're right. Your personality, your aura. I'm gonna say your aura because we didn't talk. I didn't notice that at all, to be honest. And I'm not like trying to pick your pocket or nothing, but the way you move, bro, like that height stuff is out the window. Like dead ass, bro. Like I knew I can't. You don't come on. No pushover or nothing, bro. Like, no, I would take that out of my brain, bro. Like, but yeah, you did seem like you were not talking to anybody. And so I saw your shirt and I seen that shirt on Instagram before. And so I went up to, I was like, dang, bro, I like your shirt. Da, 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 da. And I asked you, are you part of, I don't know, your shirt said the invisible thing. I don't remember exactly what it said, but it had like the stripes.
Yes, it said, and actually we have just a quick little drop. We had those shirts in our merch shop. Those are Visibility Equals Possibility shirts designed by Zion from episode 53. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep, no worries. So like you had that shirt. I was like, oh, like, are you part of da da da? And he was like, oh no, I'm over Dem Bois Podcast. And let me tell you, bro, my brain said boom, 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 boom. And only because like I literally just started listening to your podcast maybe 2 months before that. And I was like, it's really hard to find a good podcast hosted by a trans man, let alone a Black trans man. So I had what is it called when you just watch stuff back? Like I had listened to so many of your episodes back to back. And I never watched and I never looked it up. Like I followed you on Instagram, but I never looked at the Instagram. So I didn't know the face, you know? So when I seen the shirt, I was like, I know I seen that somewhere. And you weren't talking to nobody. So that's my bag, bro. You my bag. So I said, hey, what's going on? And so like, especially at camp, I took it on myself, but it just became part of camp was to make men of color integrate into the space. And so you being by yourself and not talking to anybody, that was something else that my brain put 2 and 2, and I was like, just start yapping your ear off, man. They call me a professional yapper. And then, it just grew, our relationship just grew from there, especially when I found out you're the guy with the podcast, like that does the podcast I've been freaking listening to for 2 months. Like, crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing great work for your own self. But no, your personality is big, bro. Your the way you move is big. Like, even without talking to you, bro, I knew you was somebody.
I appreciate that. I'm learning just like you how to take some of that stuff in. So I appreciate that. And to say that my aura, because I remember when my son was growing up, because I always was, I'm short and my son's taller than me. His friend is 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", whatever tall he is. And so they always would tease me and be like, ain't nobody gonna fuck with ain't nobody gonna fuck with my dad. Look at his hands, he gonna slap the fuck out somebody. So
you do look like you slap hard.
So to know you look at me and I'm somebody that you ain't gonna fuck with, I love that. So thank you.
No, for
but
sure,
it eased my nervousness of like, yo, no, you come in a room with a certain type of presence, and I need to own that. And I do.
Yeah, that's that Cali swag though, bro, for sure.
Oh,
that's
probably.
But no, I knew. Now I would say when I knew is when we was playing spades and you was teaching somebody how to play spades.
No, not spades. We was playing because I don't know how to play spades.
What was it? Was it bridge or poker or speed? What was we playing?
Was it dominoes? Dominoes.
Oh, dominoes.
Yeah.
We was playing. Well, I wasn't playing dominoes. Game goes too fast. I'm not doing it. So like you was playing dominoes and you was teaching somebody how to play. So of course your game face wasn't on. You're teaching somebody, but the person across from you, won't say their name, was just talking mess. And nothing in your body moved, bro. Your eyes looked up and you said, I'm trying to be nice. This fool's crazy.
That was a slap, a low-key slap. Oh, man. Yeah. And I do talk a lot of shit. If I know you, I'm going to talk a lot of shit. I might be losing. I could be down by 100 points, but I'm still going to come talking shit as if I was up by 100. That's just me.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that. And it speaks on to who we are and why we need community and why community is so important.
For sure.
And not only about how we treat other people, but how we treat ourselves. We gonna talk about a little self-care, bro, because ever since I met you and we only known each other for a little bit of time, the one message I'm always telling you is about taking care of your motherfucking self. And so for people listening, I saw a little snapshot of your little calendar. Your calendar is fucking wild, bro. All them damn colors intersecting one another, stacked on top of each other. I told him just looking at that shit had me dizzy and confused. I don't want my calendar to look like that. So let's talk about some self-care and how, as trans men, we choose to take care of ourselves when we're not taking care of other people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's funny that you say that, bro. Like, I'm in an era, like, I'm in so many different intersections right now with myself. Like, I'm in a loverboard era. I'm in a refinement. I'm like refining myself.
Mm.
I'm in a let go era. Like, and what's sad is like, Uncloak is in his 6th year, I think, 5th or 6th year. And this has been the busiest it's been for the business. But I've been burnt out since last December. So, plus a lot of stuff has to be more underground now because the healthcare providers, just to touch on that really quick, the healthcare providers are fighting for us just as strong as we're fighting for our own rights. And a lot of people don't know that what they go through behind the scenes. Like I said, a lot of these healthcare providers end up being my actual friends to where I'm playing with their kids or like freaking, getting to know their wives, their families, meeting their mothers, their grandmothers. That's how close I get with these doctors, for one, to make sure they really are a safe space for us. And for two, it just happens like that organically when you're talking with somebody, because I work with them for months before I publicize the service, just to make sure they are who they say they are and it is what they say they are. So talking to them like on more intimate levels, like they're actually isolated also. When certain doctors find out that they're doing gender affirming care or helping a certain population within the LGBT community, they're not invited to certain tables. They're not given the same information. They're also being isolated from tools that they need for their everyday care, and they're also under so much pressure to not give our medicine or care at all. And so I know some doctors that are doing things underground. They got to do it under the radar because they don't want to bring attention to the care that they're given and have the funding restricted or to be targeted or anything like that. But they're just not invited to a lot of tables. And we don't know the battles that they're actually fighting every day just to give us this care. So I did want to spotlight that for them, and to, work with your providers. If they say, they can't do something, it's not because they chose not to do it. It's maybe they're doing something different. Maybe they're doing something in the background. So another thing that I do is the healthcare providers that I get to know, that I train up and stuff like that, I actually put them in contact with one another so they can talk about their issues on, together in their environment, because they can tell me whatever, but I'm not living their day to day, right? Mm-hmm. And so not only could they pass patients safely between each other, but they can also talk about what's going on and see what that provider is doing legally.
You know what? While I'm hearing you talk about this, it's so wild to me. You know what's wild to me is that, first of all, so if you a doctor let's just go and say we both two doctors, and I don't want you providing gender affirming care, and you doing it. Why should I be mad at what you doing as a provider? You went to school and paid the same high ass goddamn tuition and learned just like I did. And you and the other crazy shit about it is you took an oath to take care of people's health. People is people. A human being is a human being, regardless of the fact. The idea that people want to gatekeep health, it bothers the fuck out of me. Straight up bothers the fuck out of me. Who are you? If you don't care about people, why the fuck you go be a doctor? Mm-hmm. Real shit. Like, doctors are supposed to advocate for you as a patient. They're supposed to advocate for what's right and what's good. And it should be separate from any political affiliation, right? I know it's easier said than done, right? Because people are being literally targeted, right? But I just feel like, why would you not want somebody to get the care that they need for themselves? Ain't got shit to do with you. What you eat ain't gonna make me shit. It's not. You know what I mean? It just breaks my heart that we have all of this medical technology, and even outside of gender affirming care, we have all this medical technology, but it's being gatekept, right? People aren't able to get the access to health and feeling better. As human beings, we have the right to feel good and to live long lives, healthy lives. And we have the medical technology for most things to do that. But most folks don't have access to that. It's just so fucking wild to me. It just blows my mind, bro. Like, as a human being, that you don't have enough compassion for another human being as for another person and what they need for themselves and their health. It's sad. It breaks my heart, really. It really does, man. You
just ate on that, bro.
Yeah, it fucking breaks my heart. Don't do it. I'm going to tell anybody that's listening, say Sean Aaron told you. If you don't, and I, back many episodes ago, I talked about how I wanted to get into law enforcement. That was like what I thought I wanted to do, but the universe had another journey. That's how I thought I was going to help my community. But anyway, the universe had another calling on my life. But I tell people all the time, they used to try to get into that field, because I used to sniff you out like, nah, I know you ain't going to be a good motherfucker in that field. And I would tell people, if your heart ain't in it, don't do it. That's anything. If you want to be a shoe salesman, if you don't like feet, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, right? If you do not have the love and compassion for human beings, for people, whether they're not documented or if they're, cisgender, trans folks, whatever. If you don't like women, why would you go be a gynecologist? Like, right? Like, go be a librarian. Go do something that's not stressful on your brain. I don't know, maybe being a librarian is stressful, but go do something that's something else. Go do something else. Don't waste space. Don't take up space for somebody who could actually be in that position that can actually help and heal the world. Go somewhere else with that shit. Why you want $100,000, $200,000 in debt to not do what you swore to do, that you took an oath to do? Man.
Yeah, you just went off, bro. You just went off. You just ate. You ate though. You ate.
Yeah, it drives me fucking nuts just thinking about it,
Yeah.
man. And it goes across all kind of platforms. If you're not gonna, not platforms, careers. If you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, don't fucking do it, bro. That's like saying us being EDs. You the ED and founder of Uncloak, and I'm over here at Dem Bois, founder and executive director of Dem Bois. But you donate money and I'm taking your money, but I'm not helping our trans men of color that I said I was gonna do. No, that's not me. That ain't even in my blood. That's not in my spirit. Why would I want to do that? It's just, I should go do something else. I should be 5'3" and go play basketball. I don't know, right? Go find something safe to do.
Yeah.
But get out of the way so somebody else that really has the heart to make a change in this world can actually do the work. If you got a problem with doing the work, step the fuck back. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, you went off. But no, I get it.
Hey, this is Jackal from Stealth, a Transmasculine podcast. Join me and my co-host Kai as we interviewed transmasculine elders about their experience growing into their authentic selves. The term stealth highlights two important facts. That one, for our generation, we were often told to hide our past and live an underground existence. And that due to that, our stories are very often overlooked. Throughout our lives, each of us has had to navigate issues of disclosure, which have impacted us in many ways. We also have a member section where you'll get to hear some amazing transmasculine history from Black jazz musicians to Mexican revolutionaries. We hope you join us for season 5 as we continue to emphasize that transmasculine folk have always been here and that we will continue to be here. Be sure to check out our website, transmasculinepodcast.com.
So let's go back to self-care for a minute. Because, I done held you for a long time and I don't want the people like, but Sean, you didn't ask this man about self-care. Y'all, Kalvin, what the fuck are you doing to take care of yourself outside of taking care of everybody else? Keep it 100.
Okay. So, December is my month that I don't do anything, and that's been running like the last couple of years. But I did say next year I'm gonna 100% invest about myself. So I'm getting to a point where I don't play about me. If I experience something negative, if I don't enjoy the experience, let me tell you something, bro. I just came back from Mexico, man, and I learned I'm not a party person. I am not. I did not like that experience, bro. My boys, they had the time of their lives, but I was definitely somebody that wanted to go to bed at 9. Let me say, the last day I planned out my whole day because I thought maybe they'll let me get one day where I can read my book, where I can just chill, man. And I didn't get that. So I came back more tired than what I left. So what I told myself is that I'm only going to give myself experiences that I enjoy. Next year, I'm going to 100% invest into myself. Could you imagine everything you ever gave anybody else energy-wise, you put that in yourself? Do you know how far and happy you would be? Now, what I would say, when you do start indulging in deep self-care, people are going to call you selfish. People are going to say you're changing. People are not going to like it. But that's because your love was a condition for them. You were a condition for them. And so when I find those conditions are put on the type of relationship we have to have, I let that go. And I replace it with something that loves me for free. And so like my self-care, I'm definitely going hard in the new year. I'm tying up my commitments and I'm still going to do my ED stuff, my community leader stuff, but I'm going to make sure I am okay first because it's coming to a point to where I'm so burnt out that I'm not even happy when I do something I really enjoy. And so self-care is starting.
That's a word.
Self-care is right around the corner, bro. But I did make commitments. I'm a man of my word. And so I have to show up for these commitments.
You know what? I commend you for that. I wasn't expecting you to answer like that. I commend you for that. for knowing where you want to set up your boundaries. And the fact that you saying that you so damn tired that you don't even like you unhappy doing the shit you enjoy. That's a problem. Right. So I'm gonna hold you accountable. I got your goddamn phone number. I'm gonna text you and hold you fucking accountable come January the 2nd. I give you the 1st. Come January the 2nd. You better be about your self-care shit, bro. We ain't wasting no time, because the one thing is the number one asset that we have is time.
Yeah.
You can't never get that shit back. You can spend money and go back and make a couple of dollars. You can't never get that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you don't want to look around. You 60 years old. You're like, damn, I'm tired of the motherfucker. And I never got the chance to take the time off of myself.
Right.
2 years ago, can I tell you my self-care game? It's strong, bro. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So 2 years ago, I made a promise to myself. And don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, I'm a human being. I don't always do what I'm supposed to do because I'm tired of the motherfucker right now as we speak. So sometimes I don't get enough sleep. I probably don't sleep about 3, 4, 5 hours a night. But the one thing I promised myself that I was going to do was more things for myself. So I got a little list of things that I do in self-care, and I don't necessarily do them in order, but they sporadic. One thing I do on a regular basis every other week is I go get a manicure and pedicure.
Yes.
That's one of my self-cares. Every now and then, I used to do it once a month, but then I haven't been finding the time, is I go get a massage. I go to the chiropractor. Like at least twice a month. I go to this place. It's called a Stretch Lab for folks to look it up. I can, you know about Stretch Lab?
Yes.
Y'all got it by you in Vegas?
They do have a Stretch Lab. I was telling my one of my guys to go to one because he's a little older and he has a lot of injuries. And so I was telling him he needs to check into that.
Tell him Sean Aaron gives the okay. That shit is magical. Okay. When I tell you, it's expensive. I'm not don't get me wrong. It's expensive. And so I know sometimes self-care can be, pricey if you go into these things like I'm saying, right? But you have to find something that's self-care for you that don't cost a fucking dime. You know what I mean? I'm privileged in that way, and I'm blessed. I won't say privileged, but blessed. And so I do set a little money aside for myself, because if I ain't doing something for myself, I don't feel good. Just like you said, you don't even enjoy the shit because you're tired, right? And so you need to find some type of self-care. If you like, you know what? I love to go to the park and take my dog for a walk. That's free, goddammit. If that's what you need to do for your self-care, do that. If you like, I like to go sit in my hammock and read a book, make time for that shit, because self-care is so important. We only got a little bit of time here. You can't spend it all up pouring into other people. I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. I want my cup to be full. And you know how you put the cup in the water and you let the water just flow in the cup till it's starting to flow over? That's what I want to give you. The stuff that's overflowing that I can't hold on to no more. Right? Yeah. But I want my cup to be full when I show up for you. And vice versa, bro. I don't want you doing nothing for me and you tired. I don't want you doing nothing for me and you ain't took some time out for yourself. Right? If I say that you my brother and I love you, that means I love you enough for you that I want you to love yourself just like you're going to show love for me. I'm done with you. Yeah. I'm done.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Get your shit together.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. Get your shit together. You got till January 2nd.
January 2nd. Okay. I got an extra day.
Map it out.
To map it out.
Don't play. I'll send you a goddamn gift certificate to Stretch Lab or Massage Envy or someplace, and I have to look it up what y'all got in Vegas. So I make sure you take care of yourself.
That's too funny, bro.
You laughing, but I'm serious, bro.
That.
I'm serious.
I know you are. I can tell. You know that same look when you said, "I'm trying to be nice." That's the look that you got right now.
my threatening look. So, Kalvin, this is the part of the show that I love to ask my guests a random ass question. My list is always going. The question may or may not have anything to do with what we talked about today. So I'm going to give you two options. So last season, season 3, I asked guests to leave a question behind on top of answering one. So you can either answer one of the questions, pick a number between some of the questions from last season, or you can just take the list as a whole and randomly select one question from 1 through 79.
Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's a question I don't remember from what you read. So I'm gonna say 1. I don't remember the question from 1. So whatever.
Wait, number 1? Oh shit. Okay. Huh. It's so strange that I feel like people ask questions. I always say it has nothing to do with what we may or may not talk about, but sometimes it's meant for you. Number
Yep,
one
I
says, what is something you would attempt to do if you know you could not fail? Self-care. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's your question.
Sheesh. I would say disrupt the pattern of isolation and suicide without a doubt from every trans man.
Mm,
Because then I could retire the community part.
mm,
But for real.
mm. That's powerful, bro.
Thank you.
So that mean organization wouldn't be there no more because it would have no need to be there.
Yeah. That's something I would do.
Damn.
And that's why I started it. I was in that isolation period. I named all my social medias King's Paradise because I told myself one day I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna create my own paradise. And I did. And I'm grown up. And it's everything I see, I want every trans man to experience. I came from nothing, and so I wanted to experience everything. And I'm telling you, bro, the life over here is so beautiful if you just hold on and find out.
That's a word, man. Because there was a time in my life where I didn't want to be here, and I didn't think I was going to be 44, bro. And I realized it is just exactly what you said. Once you get here and you realize how great, I almost said how great God is. You remember, I don't know if you grew up in church, but I did. So I would say, just know how great God is. But I don't know why I almost said that, but I want to say how great life is. When you stick around, you find community, you find people that love you, you find people that you can share your love with, all of those things, man.
For free,
bro. Yeah. Kalvin, I appreciate you for being a guest on the show. Is there any last words you want to say to folks before we get up out of here?
Actually, too, I actually want to leave a question.
Oh, you want to leave a question? Man.
I do want to leave it. Man, I'm a professional yapper. Yes, I want to leave a question.
Professional yapper. What is that question, bro?
Okay. If you had the opportunity to extract closure from a past situation, how would that closure impact you today?
That is a good ass fucking question.
Thank you, man.
You've been thinking about that shit. You like, when I'm being a guest, this is the goddamn question I'm gonna leave.
I want the whole experience. Okay?
Right, you got the platinum package. So if you had the opportunity to extract closure from a past situation in your life, how would that closure affect you today?
Yeah.
Damn, I wish we wasn't out of time because I want to answer that. Maybe we have to come back and have an episode where we were reflecting on just that question, because I got a couple of moments of closure that I needed. Ooh, all right. Yo, Kalvin, thank you so much for being a guest on the show, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, no worries, bro. Just take care of yourself. And if you can't break ground, just shake it until it cracks. You didn't want to be a guest on this show, bro. You better, man, that was golden. Love that.